thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, like your name, where you're from, the school you played for, other teams you have played for, and your position?
Yes, my name is Sydney Scales. I'm from Walpole, Massachusetts, which is about 30 minutes south of Boston. Growing up, I played for Massachusetts, called Lacrosse, and
Hmm.
then I went on to play 4 years of lacrosse at Boston College, where I won two national championships and two ACC championships. And now I currently coach at Harvard. I still live in the Boston area, and I play for USA and
What
professionally.
stick are you using right now, and why do you like it?
So I use the Gate Apex stick, and I've used this all throughout college. I really like it. Starting with the head, great shape for ground balls. I've tried a couple other sticks, and sometimes when you go for ground ball, it gets stuck in the ground, but this one is
Yeah.
nice and shallow. So it's great for picking up ground balls as a defender. And then I have the Flex Mesh Pocket, which again is great. Very durable. You can have that and it won't get illegal, which is great. And then I have the Ice Shaft, which is the metal shaft, and I really like that because again, as a defender, your shaft's taking a lot of impact when you're making contact, so that's super durable and it's super long, so you can go for interceptions.
Hmm. I use a whip, but I'm trying to break in my Apex because I just got one.
Nice, good switch.
Do you like your stick long or short? Just a
I like
minute.
my stick long because I'm a defender, so I like to be able to take up as much space as possible.
Yeah. When did you first start playing lacrosse and what got you into the sport?
So I started playing lacrosse when I was in probably second grade. My dad is from a town called Westwood, Massachusetts, and it's a very big lacrosse town. Their high school and youth programs are very good. And he had heard about lacrosse, obviously, from growing up there and thought I should give it a try, that I would be good at it. So I attended a camp at Westwood High School, really liked it, did that another year, fell in love, and then started playing on a team after
Did
that.
you play any other sports growing up, and was lacrosse always your favorite?
So I played basketball and field hockey growing up as well. Played soccer when I was in elementary and middle school. Basketball is actually my favorite sport for a very long time. I still really like it. I actually wanted to play basketball in college growing up. I thought that was kind of the path I was going to take. But obviously ended up playing lacrosse, which I'm very happy with. But yeah, growing
Yeah.
up I played basketball and then field hockey was kind of just my third sport to fill the fall season, but it ended up being a lot of fun and our team was really competitive. So it was great.
Mhm. I like basketball too.
Great
What was
sport.
your biggest challenge as a young player, and how did you overcome it?
I would say on the lacrosse field, my biggest challenge was probably confidence growing up. Like I said, I was primarily focused on basketball, so I
Yeah.
didn't have as much experience or necessarily put as much time into lacrosse as some of the other people who it was their main sport. They were playing club, they were playing select. I was just doing town and I was also doing club, but I just wasn't able to make as much of the AU basketball. So
Mhm.
I think I was a little bit unconfident in my abilities because I didn't have a stick in my hand as often.
Mhm. How did you build your confidence back?
Yeah, I think just the opposite of that, putting a stick in my hand as much as possible and putting myself in positions to be uncomfortable, whether it was playing with people who were better than me, older than me, playing with boys, playing, for trying out for some of the top select teams in the area, like the Under Armour team was a thing growing up.
Yeah.
Putting myself in those situations gave me the experience, which then led to the confidence.
Who was your biggest inspiration or role model when you were learning the game?
Mm. My biggest role model was probably my current coworker and friend Kenzie Kent. Growing up, like I said, I was very into basketball, but also lacrosse. So when I
Mhm.
saw a collegiate athlete playing two sports, hockey and lacrosse, I thought it was amazing. And it was something that I had never thought about, but then it kind of, was on my radar after seeing Kenzie do that. And I just, she was a local girl. She played for BC, which was my dream local school. She kind of just had such an amazing story that really inspired me and made me look up to her.
What's one skill or drill that helped you improve the most as a lacrosse player?
Hmm. Probably. it's not a drill, but probably playing other sports really helped me as a lacrosse
Mhm.
player.
Yeah.
Growing up, I played a bunch of sports and then kind of narrowed it down to three in high school, but still had a sport going every season, I think. Being able to play different sports that were so different, but also alike in a lot of different ways really helped with my IQ and also helped me be able to, practice lacrosse and basketball season because a lot of the things are similar, at least defensively. So yeah, I know a lot of kids are starting to specialize in sports these days, but I think being able to play a lot of sports, if it fits you and if you're not overwhelmed by it, can really be an advantage.
Can you share a moment when you realized you wanted to play lacrosse in college?
Absolutely. I remember it clearly. In 2017, I think, the Final Four was at Gillette Stadium for men's and women's. And since I live about 10 minutes away, I went and watched the Final Four and the championship game. BC was in both. I think they were playing, I want to say maybe like Navy in the Final Four and then Maryland in the national championship. And the BC thing is everyone wears neon and
Yeah.
you can see everyone in the stands. And I played for Massachusetts, so they were, passing out neon shirts and everything, and being able to be a part of that family and in that crowd and watching these girls play at such a high level in a world famous stadium was so inspiring. And that was when I realized, okay, I love this sport, and I think I want to play this in college and do what these girls are
What was the
doing.
recruiting process like for you? Was it stressful or exciting or both?
I would say the recruiting process was stressful and exciting.
Mhm.
Um, And I think a lot of people probably feel that way as well. It's obviously stressful because you want to go to a school that you love and you want to have options and whatnot. But, it's also exciting because you're even be in that place. There's a lot of people who don't play sports at the collegiate level. It's actually a very small amount. So being able to even have that opportunity is really exciting. For me, I was actually the last recruit in my grade at BC. I didn't
Mhm.
commit until November, I think. So I think just kind of waiting to see what was going to happen and seeing people commit, whether it was in September or October, was definitely stressful. But just having that faith that it was going to all work out. And, it did work out, which I'm very grateful for. But yeah, it's an awesome experience. But obviously, like most things, it has its ups and has its downs.
What advice would you give to older players about getting noticed by college coaches?
I would say to older players who want to be noticed by college coaches to put yourself in the position to be seen, whether that's, you go to a camp or you go to a recruiting showcase or, you put your club team plays in a tournament. Um, but I would say, you don't have to do it all. There's a lot of coaches at a lot of things. And, if they see you a couple times, if that school is right for you, they're going to notice you and they're going to hopefully give you a call. And if not, that's okay. There'll be other schools that do notice you. So I would just say, put yourself in the right position to be noticed. And then once you're in that position, just have fun. Don't be super focused on, who's watching you and whatnot, because most of the time people play their best when they're enjoying themselves.
Tell us where you're coaching now and what a typical day in your life as a college lacrosse coach looks like.
So I currently coach at Harvard. I
Mhm.
started that last year, so I'm going into my second year and I absolutely love it. We have an awesome staff with a bunch of players who played at the highest level possible, which is amazing. Typical day in the life can vary a little, but in the spring when we're in season, I'll typically get to the office around 7:30. A lot of times we'll have film in the morning before practice, either on ourselves or watching an opponent, and then we'll head off to practice for 2.5 hours, get some good work in there. And then we'll come back in. A lot of times we'll watch practice film, sometimes meet with players to go over practice film, and then study our opponents. A lot of times in the spring, there's not many days where you can just focus on yourselves. You're usually watching your opponents getting ready for that next game. So we spend a ton of time watching film, making scouting reports. For and after that, I'll head to compete, which is our local gym. A lot of times I'll go with Kenzie and we will work out there and then I'll head home, eat dinner, and relax for the rest of the
You have like any free times, like do fun stuff?
day. Yeah, I do. I think in the spring it's a little bit busier, but
Yeah.
I think my job is fun, so
Mhm.
working a lot of times and like being able to go on away trips and stuff and playing in games doesn't feel like I don't have free time because that's what I like to do and that's what's fun.
Yeah. How do you manage your time and balance everything, lacrosse, school, and your social life?
Yeah, sometimes it can get tricky to balance everything,
Yeah.
especially, there'll be times when things are out of balance. One thing is more important than another for a week or so, and that's okay.
Mhm.
And I think having that mindset is important. One thing that's really huge that I think helps take the stress out of having so many things is just time management, kind of planning out when you're going to do things. I love Google Calendar, using that all the time. And then one thing that I have really tried to incorporate, especially post college, is scheduling in time to just rest and relax myself or hang out with friends.
Yeah.
Just as if you would schedule a meeting or schedule something, making sure you schedule that into your calendar so you don't get burnt out and you do
Yeah.
have time to kind of catch your breath and relax.
What's one thing about playing college lacrosse that surprised you?
One thing that surprised me about college lacrosse, and this is specific to Boston College where I played, was the impact it had on people, whether it was my friends, family, my parents' friends that I would have never thought.
Mhm.
There would be my dad would say, "Oh, my old friend so and so just texted me. They watched your game," and I was like, "Well, I never would have thought they would be watching a BC lacrosse game." Or, it really just like roped in my whole family, like my brother, his friends, my extended family, in a way that I never could have imagined. And it was so special for it to connect us all
Do
like
you
that.
have a pregame ritual or something that you do to get pumped up before a big game?
When I was a freshman, I used to like just listen to like pump up music or whatever
Yeah.
music I was feeling. But as I got older, even just like sophomore year, I kind of got away from a pregame ritual because sometimes it would be stressful. If we were at an away game, we didn't have the same amount of time, or,
Mhm.
the facility was different, didn't have a bike to warm up on or something. So I tried to get away from a very strict and rigid pregame ritual and lean more towards just a loose structure that I'd follow, which would be like we go to a team meal, fuel up, get to wherever the game was, home, locker room, or away, stretch, roll out, and then just kind of get ready with, hair, uniform, and whatnot. So nothing too strict, just kind of loose to be able to save my focus and energy for the
How
warm
many
up in the
like
game.
hours would you say like it takes to do all this? Like say your game's at 5, what time would you start to like mentally prepare?
I think we would have our if we were at a home game, we would get there like 3 hours before the game and we
Uh,
would eat. And then we probably have like 2 hours. So there was kind of a lot of sitting sometimes. That probably 2 hours. So I wouldn't be in a rush. I would kind of, hang out, chat with people in between what I was doing. And
yeah.
then 2 hours, that would be like before the warm up. So then when we get out on the field, we have like an hour to warm up, which would be just like passing around, casual warm up. And then we get into, our strength coach would usually take us through stretching and dynamic warm up and whatnot, and then get into drills.
What's your favorite pregame snack?
My favorite pregame snack is probably just like plain pasta, honestly. Love something
Pasta?
that's really simple. A lot of times, if you have nerves before a game, you don't want to eat anything too
Mm.
extravagant anyways. So just like plain pasta with butter always hits. And then my favorite halftime snack would be the honey stinger chews, which are great. Fruit flavor would probably be my top choice.
Have you
A
ever
lot of
tried the
carbs.
Oreo one?
Oh, like the wafer?
Yeah.
I think I have had that. Those are really good too. I'd either do the chews or the wafers.
I think I've only tried the wafers. I have to try those.
Oh, you got to try the chews. They're really good. They're just like fruit snacks, basically.
Can you tell us what it's like playing lacrosse for the US team?
Yeah, playing lacrosse for the US team is incredible. It's something that's still new to me and very surreal. Obviously, growing up, like I said, I was a big BC fan, and some of those girls, Dempsey, Kenzie, Sam, were on the US team, and being able to watch and follow them just felt like I was watching like celebrities on the screen, same way I'd watch like, you know, pro sports game. And it just felt like so distant, something that was reserved for those top players, and now being able to be a part of it is really incredible and it's surreal. And I still, have to pinch myself being able to be in the same room as some of the greats, but it's awesome and being able to play with people who I thought I'd never get to play with again, old college teammates, old coaches is it's really special and it's not something everyone gets, so I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, the US team is like very talented.
Mm,
There's a
very,
lot
yeah,
of
a lot of good
talented
players.
players. Hmm.
Yeah,
What's
for
your
sure.
favorite memory from your lacrosse journey so far?
My favorite memory is probably winning the national championship in 2024. Two reasons. One, I was a senior. We had a big senior class who
Mhm.
had been through a lot in our 4 years, and we had one freshman year. So we were, our motto was bookend, trying to win freshman and senior year. And, it was our last game ever in the Eagles uniform, and that is something that can make you emotional and it can feel like a lot of pressure. And
Yeah.
being able to perform and have the outcome we wanted with those circumstances was really amazing. And then, the other thing was just the way the game went, obviously being down 6-0 at the end of the first quarter was not where we wanted to be, but being able to dig ourselves out of that hole and, you know, deal with that adversity was something that was truly amazing. And, the team that we had was incredible for being able to overcome that.
I think like one of the games where you're like down and then get back up is like one of the most like fun games and like
Totally.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. You'd rather have that than blow a team out. It's a lot more fun.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice about lacrosse or life in general, what would it be?
I would say don't compare yourself to others. I know that's pretty generic advice that people hear a lot, but it really is so true. Everyone has different circumstances. There's always going to be someone who's playing more than you or is better than you in the moment. But, you know, not worrying about that and just worrying about your own trajectory and your own growth is really important because, that's what you can control. You can't control what other people are doing or what they think of you. But if you can control getting 1% better every day, you're going to put yourself in a really good position in the future.
Well, that's it.
Great.
Thank
Awesome.
you so much
Thanks
for
for,
doing it again. I'm sorry I didn't
of
record the
course.
first time.
Oh, no worries. Thanks for having me on. I can't wait to watch this on your YouTube channel.
Thanks for your
All right.
time.
Bye, Gianna.
Bye. Thank you so much.